Good morning, students. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about eukaryotic cell structure. In last lecture, we will discuss about prokaryotic cell structure. First of all, what is mean by eukaryotic cells? In eukaryotic, eu means true and karyotic means nucleus. That is, the cell having true nucleus and well developed nucleus are called eukaryotic cell. See here, a cell is defined as eukaryotic if it has a membrane bound nucleus, and any organism composed of eukaryotic cell is also considered as eukaryotic organism. That is, eukaryotic cell having well developed nucleus, membrane bound organelles, and it is having complex structure are eukaryotic cell consists of number of organelles. From that, one of the nucleus and eukaryotic genetic material, and also consist of mitochondria, ribosome, plasma membrane, Golgi apparatus, and so on. First of all, we will discuss here the nucleus and eukaryotic genetic material. See here the structure of nucleus. The nucleus stores all the information the cell needs to grow, reproduce, and function. This information is contained in a long molecules of DNA. One of the functions of the nucleus is to protect the cell's DNA from damage. The nucleus also contains a small round bodies are called nucleolus that hold nucleic acid and proteins. This nuclear membrane, that is the outermost outermost membrane, are called outer nuclear membrane. It is having pore through which the content of the nucleus communicate with the rest of the cell, and this nuclear membrane tightly control what gets in and out to the cell, out to the nucleus. See here structure. In this structure, we see here nucleolus, round body structure are nucleolus. This is the nuclear membrane. There is two membranes, outer membrane and inner membrane. This membrane having nuclear pores. Through this nucleus communicate with the rest of the cell. That is the main function of nucleus, is to store the information that needs to grow, reproduce, and function of the cells. Also to protect the cell DNA from damage, and also the nuclear membranes are tightly control what get into the nucleus and what get out. Then next, eukaryotic plasma membrane. The plasma membrane in eukaryotic cell is responsible for controlling what get into and out of the cell. This plasma membrane are present at outermost side. A series of proteins stuck in the membrane helps this cell to communicate with the surrounding environment. Among other things, these communications can include sending and receiving chemical signals from other eukaryotic cells, and interacting with the cells of prokaryotic organism during the process of infection. This prokaryotic cell in this prokaryotic, the plasma membrane structure I see here. It is a phospholipid bilayer with proteins and cholesterol embedded in it. A phospholipid is a lipid layer of glycerol, two fatty acids, tail, and phosphate linked head group. The primary function of this plasma membrane is that to protect the cell from its surrounding environment, and also this membrane is selectively permeable to ions and organic molecules and regulate the movement of substance in and out of cell. Next, eukaryotic ribosome. In eukaryotes, the ribosomes are smaller cellular machines made up of proteins and ribosomal RNA. All cells, both eukaryotic and prokaryotic, have ribosomes. Eukaryotic ribosomes are larger and have a slightly different shape and composition than those found in prokaryotic cell. Eukaryotic ribosomes, for instance, have about twice the amount of ribosomal RNA, that is rRNA, and one-third more ribosomal protein. See here the structure of eukaryotic ribosomes. The main function of this eukaryotic ribosome is that decode the message and formation of peptide bond, and other is it is also help in protein synthesis. Then next, most important organelle of eukaryotic cell is mitochondria. Mitochondria are known as a powerhouse of cell. They are organelles that act like a digestive system which takes in nutrients, break them down and create energy-rich molecules for the cell. These energy-rich molecules are called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Mitochondria are shaped perfectly to maximize their reproductivity. They are made up of two membranes. The outer membrane, that is this membrane, that cover the organelles and contain it like a skin, and the inner membrane, that is this, that fold over many times and create a layered structure called cristae. This inner membrane are filled with fluid. This fluid are called matrix. The main function of the mitochondria generate most of chemical energy needed to power the cells biochemical reactions. This chemical energy produced by mitochondria is stored in a small molecule called ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. That is the main function of this mitochondria is production of ATP. Next, to produce energy currency of cell ATP through respiration and to regulate cellular metabolism. Then next, eukaryotic endoplasmic reticulum. Another organelle in the cell is endoplasmic reticulum, that is ER. While the function of nucleus is to act as a cell brain, as like the eukaryotic endoplasmic reticulum as a function as a manufacturing and packaging system. Structurally, the endoplasmic reticulum is a network of membrane found throughout the cell and connect to the nucleus. Here the endoplasmic reticulum function as a manufacturing and packaging system. The endoplasmic reticulum are having two basic types. One is the rough endoplasmic reticulum and other is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Both have the same type of membrane but they have different shape. A rough endoplasmic reticulum looks like a sheets or disc of bumpy membrane, while smooth endoplasmic reticulum looks like a tube. Rough endoplasmic reticulum is called rough because it has a ribosome attached to its surface. See here, this is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. In this, these small dots are represent the ribosomes, and this is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. These ribosomes are onto the surface of endoplasmic reticulum are called rough endoplasmic reticulum, and this is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. There is ribosomes are absent on its surface. The functions of endoplasmic reticulum is that. Then functions of endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum helps to produce proteins for the rest of the cells to function. Endoplasmic reticulum is a collection of tubes that makes and package and transport proteins and fats. Next, rough endoplasmic reticulum has a protein making ribosomes on its surface, so it helps to make and process proteins. And smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps makes and process lipids and helps to detoxify drugs and alcohol. In the functions we will remember that the endoplasmic reticulum has a main function of manufacturing and packaging, act as a manufacturing and packaging system. And other, the rough endoplasmic reticulum has a main function to helps make and process the proteins, and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum has a function to make and process lipids and helps detoxify drugs and alcohol. The next organelle is that Golgi apparatus. See here the structure of Golgi apparatus. In a diagram we are draw such type of structure. This is called Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus or Golgi complex is found in most of cells. It is another packaging organelle like endoplasmic reticulum. The Golgi apparatus gathers simple molecules and combine them to make molecules that are more complex. It then takes those big molecules, packaging them in vesicles, and either store them for later use or send them out of the cell. It is also the organelle that builds lysosomes, that is cell digestive machines. See here the structure of Golgi apparatus. The main function of this Golgi apparatus is that it is responsible for transporting, modifying, and packaging the proteins and lipids into vesicles for delivery to targeted destination. Then next organelle of eukaryotic cell having lysosomes. See here the structure of lysosomes. Lysosomes hold enzymes that were created by the cell. The purpose of lysosome is to digest things. They might be used to digest food or break down the cell when it dies. The most important function of lysosome is to digest the things and also used to digest the food and or break down the cell when it dies. See here the structure of lysosomes. The main function of lysosome as the digestive system of the cells and serving both to degrade material take up from outside the cell and to digest the absolute component of the cell itself. That is, lysosomes act as a digestive system for the cells, and it can be degrade the material that take up from the outside the cell and digest the absolute component of the cell itself. That is, it act both degrade the materials and digest the component of the cell itself. Then next, chloroplast. We know about the chloroplast. It's a well-known organelles that are present only in a plant cells. Chloroplasts are the food producers of the cell. These organelles are found in the plant cells, and some protists such as algae, animal cells do not have a chloroplast. Chloroplast works to convert light energy of the sun into sugar that can be used by cells. The entire process is called photosynthesis. We know about this, that is, chloroplasts take the energy from the sun, light energy from the sun, and that convert light energy and that convert it into the sugar that can be used by the cell. The entire process is called photosynthesis. It also depends on the little green chlorophyll molecules in each chloroplast. See here the structure of chloroplast. These little green organelles are called chlorophyll. The main function of this chlorophyll, that is, the chlorophyll which functions by trapping the solar energy and is used for synthesis of food in all green plants. Absorption of light energy and conversion it into the biological energy, and production of ATP by photophosphorylation. Then next, vacuoles. See here the structure of vacuoles. Vacuoles are a storage bubble found in a cell. They are found in both animal and plant cells, but are much larger in a plant cells. Vacuoles might store food or any variety of nutrients a cell might need to survive. They can even store the waste product so the rest of the cell is protected from contamination. Eventually, those waste products will be sent out of the cell. That is, the main function of these vacuoles is to store food and variety of nutrients a cell might need to survive, and it also stores the waste product so the rest of the cells is protected from contamination. That is, to store food that needs to cell to survive and also store the waste product to protect the cell from contamination. Then next, peroxisomes. There are many ways that peroxisomes are similar to lysosomes. They are small vesicles found in the cells. They have a single membrane that contain digestive enzymes for breaking down toxic material in the cells. They differ from lysosomes in the type of enzyme they hold. Peroxisomes hold on to enzymes that require oxygen, that is oxidative enzymes. Lysosomes have enzymes that works in a oxygen poor area and pH. From that, we will understand the main difference between lysosomes and peroxisomes. Lysosomes similar like to peroxisomes, but the main difference in that is that peroxisomes hold on to the enzymes that require oxygen, that is oxidative enzymes, and lysosomes have enzyme that works in an oxygen poor area and a lower pH. That is the main difference in between peroxisomes and lysosomes. Then next, So, we will here discuss all about the eukaryotic cell. Then the conclusion of this lecture, that is, eukaryotic cell have genetic material, nucleus, plasma membrane, ribosomes, cytoplasm including cytoskeleton. Most eukaryotic cell have other membrane bound organelles or structures are called organelles that include Golgi bodies, mitochondria, lysosome, endoplasmic reticulum and vesicles. Then last and best is that the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. We will see here the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. We all of you study about the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell in detail. So we will find out the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. See here the difference. This is the prokaryotic cell, this is the eukaryotic cell. The main difference in between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic is that nucleus. Prokaryotic cell have no nucleus, eukaryotic cell have a nucleus. Another main difference in between these two cells is that prokaryotic have no membrane bound organelles, that is no membrane enclosed organelles, and eukaryotic cell have a membrane bound organelles. Prokaryotic cell contains single chromosomes and eukaryotic cell chromosome is in pair. In prokaryotic cell there is no streaming in the cytoplasm, and in eukaryotic cell streaming in the cytoplasm. In a prokaryotic cell division without mitosis, and in eukaryotic cell division by mitosis. The prokaryotic cell flagella is in simple and eukaryotic cell flagella is a complex. Prokaryotic cell ribosomes are smaller in size, eukaryotic cell ribosomes are larger in size. Prokaryotic cytoskeleton is a simple and eukaryotic cytoskeleton is a complex. Prokaryotic cell have no cellulose in cell wall, eukaryotic cell having cellulose in a cell wall. Prokaryotic cell no histone proteins and eukaryotic cell having DNA bounds to histone protein. Then next, this is the examples of prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic having examples bacteria, and eukaryotic cells having example plant cells, animal cells, fungi and protists. So thank you student. This is all about the today's lecture. Thank you.